Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Heavensward. In the last episode, we headed out to Annex Shrine with Lucia to establish a diplomatic dialogue with the dragons and to invite Vidofnir to Ishgard for talks, I'm guessing, to begin the peace process between Ishgard and the dragons. So we took care of that, and then we headed out here to Idleshire because there is a scholar who was a member of the students of Baldessian who is going to be assisting in tracking down the remaining members of the Scions who are still missing. So we are over here to meet this scholar. So, let's go ahead and get to it. And there's Yustola. Alright, Yame, 'tis good to see you. I confess, I had assumed your business in Annex Shrine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vidofnir go well? As well as can be expected, she must discuss Sir Emmerich's proposal with Hraesvalgr, of course, but she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Shirleyan guest? Has she arrived yet? She has, but when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on Front Bridge. We should be on our way. Okay, so we'll head over here and wait with Alphino and Yustola for this person to arrive.
I'm terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Sharlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, miss. And who is that I spy but young Alphino Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Miss Kryle and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking. Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best you explain your plan to her in person.
Alright, so we are off to see Matoya again. This time, we can fly. Let's see, where exactly are we going? Ah, there they are. There's Kryl. Alright, you did say we were headed for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? Not quite. The prospect of meeting the famous Master Matoya seems to have set Kryl thinking. I have heard many stories of Master Matoya, some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured they are all true, this way, and have care where you tread.
Oh. Is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Kryl, you too possess the Echo.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the science of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance, but never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock. I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Okay, so it seems that Thancred has ended up in the Dravanian Forelands. How convenient. Alright, let's head out to Tailfeather and see what the hunters in the area can tell us if they've encountered anybody. It matches Thancred's description. Alright, Alphino. Were I to find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of unknown allegiance. Yet even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Kryl. I have already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. This is impressive. You drew him from memory? A skill I acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. I propose we split into two pairs. Y'shtola and I will inquire at the outlying encampments, while Ayame and Kryl question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Loth Astvath and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let us be about it. My, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Anyway, we had best get started. Find me when you've finished making your rounds. Ah, so that's the reason he can no longer remember. Alright, let's talk with Lupard over here, see if he has any information. Searching for a friend of yours. Let's have a look then. No, ain't seen him around, sorry. Alright. Show Alphino sketch de Marcechon. What's that you've got there? A sketch? Yes. Can't say I know the face. You say he's something of a warrior? I heard a tale the other day about a hired vagabond who brought down a bandersnatch by himself, and with style. Way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was the bell of the bleeding bull. Sound like your man? That does indeed sound like Thancred. Alright, Grimald. A hired man? We're not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? There's a sketch. I did spy this one bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. This was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river, to the west of Tailfeather. Remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. The lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That, and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. Alright, Kryl? Finished? In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found out. Alright. Los Athvath. Is where we're headed. What in the world is that? Ah, it's a fate boss. I think I'll leave it alone. I need to kill 2 of those. Just a moment. Alright, here we are, destination. Let's see what the others found out. My apologies for our late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Highern hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chance to see the man's face, his height and build match Thancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. So you have heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Vath trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement, which seemed a rather curious description for one of his kind. You are implying that Thancred sent a Vath to market in his stead? Why would he not go himself? Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the live stream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never forget. Is it now? Well, I was pleased to see you. I mean, it was a simple statement of fact. It stands to reason that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with the Vath, they should be able to tell us, no? Quite right, Kryl, quite right. Alright, complete. Alright. Another one is respawned, but let's talk to Alphina. Alphina would like very much to continue the search for Thancred. Well, what are we waiting for? For all we know, Thancred could be waiting for us in Loth Astvath. We must go and see the Vath right away. Come along, everyone. Come along. We'll come along in a moment. I have a living tree. Well, one of these things that needs killing. There we go. I haven't been actively looking for hunt marks, but, you know, if I come across them. Alright, there's the Vath storyteller. Let's see what it has to say. Great hunters, we welcome you once more to Loth Asvath. What do you seek this day? We seek a man with whom we are told you may have had certain dealings. How curious. The hunters tire of goodly sport and pursue mortal prey? Of godly sport and pursue mortal prey? No, he is not prey, but a friend long missing. Good. He is a friend of the Vath as well, one with whom we have traded many times. Truly. And you are quite certain it was this man? There is no doubt. The fleshling clothed in skins came to us from Somal, lost and weak. He offered meat and hides in trade, and in exchange we tended his wounds. He brought us much flesh, so skilled a hunter he was. Much flesh. When he asked for garments, we were glad to provide them. And where is he now? Gone to Loth Asnath not long ago, when he heard the One Mind had summoned our god once more. Ravana is returned? Vidofnir did say the Nath had grown as before, but what could Thancred hope to accomplish by himself? Honored Elder, we thank you for your help. Would that we could repay this kindness ere we depart, but we must hasten to our comrade's side. Go, great hunters, lest the Nath claim him as a sacrifice. Okay, well, it looks like that Ravana has been summoned yet again. Proceed to Loth Asnath, defeating any foes who stand in your way. Well, that sounds like a plan. Of course, it's actually going to force me to walk through the place. It's not actually one of my targets, but it was in the way. You're gonna force me to walk through here. You can't just fly, you know.
Who else could be? Thancred! It could be Thancred! We must hurry!
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever!
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not! So you are the warrior of light, the savior of Eorzea. It's a wonder you didn't come sooner, what with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Have care. The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them? Not very sporting of you to interrupt, but so be it. Mark well our faces, warrior of light, for we are the warriors of darkness, walkers of a different path, and we shall meet again.
Warriors of Darkness? Really?
Thancred, are you all right?
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
Alright, so, our first encounter with the Warriors of Darkness, and we've met Thancred again. Alright, well, let's go ahead and have a chat with him. Turn this in.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our parting? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Thancred.
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the live stream in the Altogether. Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides. Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke?
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement. From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more.
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed warriors of darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the warrior of light, I suppose.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black. An Ascian, I think.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
Alright, well, we're getting pretty much to the end of the episode here, but let's go ahead and talk to Alphino and grab the start of the next quest. Alphino is lost in thought, doubtless ruminating on the implications of your encounter with the Warriors of Darkness. Blessed with the power of the Echo and driven to put down primals, despite his declaration they walk a different path, I struggle to see how their goals conflict with ours. Nor is that the only oddity. I find it passing strange that such exceptional individuals should have wholly escaped our notice until now. Surely we would have heard rumors and attempted to recruit them to our cause. I recall no such adventurers, and would not soon forget their like, nor would any of us, I think. One of our primary duties was to scour the city-states for promising candidates, which is how I found Ayame. Ah, the memories. It seems like only yesterday you slew your first primal. Speaking of which, I have the distinct impression that it was not the first time that band of merry men and women had killed a god. I labor to believe that a band of preternaturally gifted adventurers has been traveling the land, slaying primals without our knowledge. 'Twould simply... 'twould imply gross negligence on our part. Speculation will avail us naught. There is far too much we do not know. For the present, we must needs concentrate on what we do know, namely that Lord Ravana is no more. Vidofnir must be informed. The news may render her more receptive to Sir Emmerich's invitation. Since you seem to have affairs here well in hand, I shall take my leave. Simply being in the vicinity of this colony is giving me a stinking headache. If you have need of me, I shall be with Master Matoya. I would beg her assistance with the search for Minfilia. Wait, Minfilia is missing? I thought she escaped with Ayame. I shall explain on the road. Much has happened in your absence. Alright. Oh, it moved us back here to Annex Shrine. Alright. Well, that's convenient. So go ahead, we'll end the episode here. And we'll continue on to see who are these Warriors of Darkness, potentially, in further episodes. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you next time.